and thank you for tuning in to the Liberty Report. Today I have a special report for you. Donald Trump has captured the attention of the Republican Party and many others. The media are his best allies. The masses are flocking to Trump with the expectation that he can take charge and solve all their problems. His decisiveness is infectious and leads many to believe he will challenge the status quo that the current leaders have delivered to us. No one is satisfied, and everyone seems to be enamored with the promise that the currently entrenched establishment will be routed and the guilty will be punished by a Trump presidency. A significant majority of Americans have become skeptical of the leadership of both Republicans and Democrats. They recognize that our government can't be trusted or depended upon to solve the problems it helped create. Confidence in our government is at an all-time low. That is the good news. Unfortunately, this consensus has led to some bad choices. Government officials and money managers declare that we must continue to pursue more of the same policies with the hope of achieving different results. So far, there's no sign that that is working. The people, even with justified concerns and skepticism of government, are attracted to the notion that government should provide more security, both economic and physical, and that sacrificing liberty in the process is required. Unfortunately, too many Americans see this as a necessary trade-off. They are wrong. Deliberately sacrificing liberty should never be an option. The political demagogues readily resort to promoting fear for the purpose of motivating people to sacrifice their liberties. Where fear is the tool of the political expedient, it is only truth that is the enemy of the false prophets and fearmongers. Terrorism is real and dangerous, but the degree of fear generated by relatively small episodes is unbelievably great and exaggerated by the media, the politicians, the financial interests, and the profiteers. The people cry out to be made safe and well-fed and are looking for a strong leader to provide for them. There are few requests for liberty. Donald Trump provides an alternative to those seeking more efficiency in government who want someone to take on the establishment that has brought havoc to our political and economic system. The big question is Donald Trump actually anti-establishment, or is he more likely to save the current system than to challenge it? If our current crisis that concerns so many is a consequence of a deeply flawed, centrally planned economic system, manipulated by the Federal Reserve, a foreign policy of occupation and preemptive war, and a systematic attack on our civil liberties here at home, how will Trump be helpful in finding a solution? Is Donald Trump arguing for any significant change in policy, or is he advocating only a different management style? What policy does he actually propose that the current bipartisan leadership doesn't support? Even his outlandish statements attacking the liberties of Muslims as a group drew sharp criticism from both Republicans and Democrats, but in the past they have explicitly supported similar policies of FDR, Jimmy Carter, JFK, and others. So essentially they defend Trump's views while pretending them to be outrageous. Essentially, all of Trump's positions have been endorsed by a majority of the Republicans and the Democrat leaderships. And the frightened masses are flocking to this decisive leader, believing he will protect and take care of them. Trump's agreement with the current establishment is never mentioned, and he is never heard attacking the following policies: the Federal Reserve's monetary policy, welfare for rich and poor, the federal government's involvement in education, foreign interventionism, concern about blowback and motives for terrorist attacks against us, deficits and debt, foreign aid, monopoly control of the political process by a coalition of Republicans and Democrats, controls on internet privacy, loss of state sovereignty, international government agencies, executive orders, and legislation by the executive branch. Trump's notoriety comes from his aggressive nature and his personal attacks on individuals as well as groups, along with his bold proposals to violate civil liberties. He never advocates an ideological position, but portrays himself as a strong, efficient boss for the people. He forcefully promotes an authoritarian type of government. Trump is a bully, not a physical bully, a verbal bully, and that is combined with the overblown fears generated by the possibility of violent attacks against us. In reality, Trump, in spite of his bombast, is a fraud. He is the Wizard of Oz, actually the Wizard of Ooze, and his uncontrolled vitriol never stops flowing. Many enjoy this as an alternative to the misfits currently running our government. Others are intimidated and cannot defend themselves against his attacks. The politically correct crowd has met its match, and even the media have been unable to silence the Donald. It's great entertainment, a moneymaker for the media, and Trump is in his glory. But the fact that the Trump campaign doesn't challenge the philosophic backbone of the current system means nothing much will change. His success by pandering to the victims of current policies poses a threat by enhancing the power and influence of big government. All the current philosophic errors from which we are suffering will continue even with a Trump victory. Only an ideological confrontation.
Yes, what's up, everybody? This is Young Byron with Up in the House Records TV. I just wanted to give y'all a video on Mr. Trump. Y'all just saw the video with Ron Paul, Rand Paul, a dad. You know, everything that he said in that video was true. Donald Trump is a big fraud. I just don't think that he would make a really good president. And his proposal to ban all Muslims, nah, that won't work. Just imagine him banning all Muslims, and just imagine what would happen. I'm not saying that it would happen, but I'm just saying, just imagine if he actually was able to ban all Muslims, what would happen. Suicide bombing and stuff like that, and the rest. So if y'all check me out on Twitter at Up in the House RDS. I'll get back with y'all as soon as possible, and have a good rest of the week. Bye.